What's going on? So this is gonna be a random vlog, just try to catch up on what's been going on in the news lately. I've been busy, so so I'm out here on my walk. You see there go my buddy right there. And so yeah, let's get into it. All right. So I mean, man, it's been so much going on. I feel like I haven't made a vlog in weeks. I've been working. So I've been busy, but let me try to catch up. All right, so first thing, recently, 75-year-old grandmother, elderly lady, black woman. She lost her life, unfortunately. Right? May she rest in peace. Behind the circumstances, at a Tim Hortons. I guess she had an issue with her order. She went inside, and you could tell they were arguing. Words were exchanged. She slapped one of the employees. That is crucial because she did uh, throw the first punch, so to speak, right? And then they jumped her, right? A fight ensued, and unfortunately, the 75-year-old woman lost her life. Now, she didn't die at the Tim Hortons. She died of complications, maybe like a heart attack or whatever from the incident. It wasn't like they beat this woman to death, okay? But behind the whole altercation, it led to her death, okay? So now, of course, those in the black community, everything is racism to them, and they're calling for justice, and I take a different approach on that because, for one, I've seen the video, right, and I know black women, right? I know she went in there with just nothing but with mouth and attitude, all right, even at 75. And just because a person is 75, they'll be the worst ones, right? Because I'll be 55, and I know I'll still let it fly. I don't care, right? And so, I know most people just look at the fact that she was 75 and think that she shouldn't have been done like that. She brought that on herself. She went in there arguing and complaining about something minor, I'm sure, right? And then when she slapped one of the Tim Horton employees, I mean, they jumped her. You know what I'm saying? I would have did the same thing. You ain't gonna put your hands on me, right? And so she brought that on herself. I know that's not the popular take, right? Because this is a black woman that lost her life. Well, she brought that on herself, okay? So I don't think charges should be filed. The employees were defending themselves. She was fine after the whooping, right? She later died at the hospital through complications. But yeah, I don't think she should be charged. Samson, get over here. I don't think any of the employees should be charged. That woman was totally at fault. She threw the first punch, and she came up short on the end of that deal, right? So let that be a lesson. Keep your hands to yourself, And is it really that serious? Like over a cup of coffee? All right, moving on. Okay. Let's talk about this NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus. That still blows my mind, right? There's been a lot of backlash behind that, but I just want to just rehash that. Every time I think about it, like, man, that's what it's come down to. That they're trying to sacrifice young black men and women from attending the SEC colleges with full scholarships, right? Getting paid to play sports at college, which is a new thing now, the NIL endorsements, and potentially to have go on to play pros, right? And so the Congressional Black Caucus and NAACP is trying to get these young black athletes to forfeit their own future for the Democratic Party's agenda. That is, it's the more and more I think about it, the more I see other people's reactions to it. It's the fact that they would even think that this is an option, right? It shows how much of a failure those organizations have been for the black community, right? If this is an option that they are trying to consider. throwing young black men and women under the bus. And I like what Abel Chapman said. She said, well, let's just say 10, 15, 20 students did decide to protest. It's not going to change the Supreme Court's ruling at all about this redistricting going on in these southern states. So the whole effort is pointless, right? These young kids will just be throwing away their futures for a political party, a political agenda that won't change a thing, right? And it will be a decision that they will regret for the rest of their lives, right? And the fact that these people made that be an option, like, how do you even, who thought of that? Who sat down and said, hey, I got an idea, let's make these kids not go play at these colleges, and that is shown. Man, I swear, man, if black people don't stop supporting the Democratic Party, I don't know what to say on that. Anyway, enough of that, man. So you black boys, men and women out there that got them scholarships, go to them schools and secure your future, man. Don't pay no attention to these so-called black leaders. They do not have your best interest in mind at all. Not even a little bit. All right, last but not least, what else we gonna cover? Let's talk about the state of things going into the midterms, right? Everybody, you've been watching me long enough, you know I am 100% against the Democratic Party, right? I'm not a Republican, I'm a Christian, okay? So, you know, we only have two parties to really choose from, either the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is the party of the Antichrist. So I vote with that, which lines up my conservative Christian values, and that is the Republican Party, okay? Now, if either one of those parties didn't line up with my Christian conservative values, I wouldn't vote at all. I just wouldn't vote, right? You know, and so yeah, and so heading into the midterms, I'm glad to see how all these racially black drawn districts are being done away with. Clyburn is about to lose his seat. Maxine Waters should lose her seat. A lot of these so-called black politicians need to be kicked out of Congress. They haven't been doing nothing for the community for decades, right? So I'm so glad this is happening. I'm praying that the Republicans can win in November, keep both branches of Congress, House of Representatives and the Senate, keep control of that, and then Donald Trump will have a clear runway for the final 2 years, right? And you know, I say that because we know historically during this time the party that's not in power always seems to win in the midterms, right? So hopefully we could break that cycle, and because we know if the Democrats gain power in the House or in the House for sure, right? And if they get in the Senate too, that'd just be a nightmare. But you know, all they're gonna do is just bog Trump down for his final 2 years. They're gonna be trying to. It's just gonna be madness, right? We won't get nothing done, nothing accomplished, and it just be a bunch of waste of time. So I'm praying that the Republicans can hold the House, hold the Senate for Trump's final 2 years, and then we can cement the things that need to be really cemented as far as the foundation going into the future. Because it is my prayer that for the rest of my life I never see another Democrat government, right? Another Democrat in the White House. I don't never want to see another Democrat administration for the rest of my life. That is the most diabolical, anti-American, anti-God party imaginable, right? It's demonic in my opinion, right? And like I say, you know, I'm not a Republican, but as long as they keep an American first agenda, conservative values, you know, I'm always vote for that, right? All right, I'll leave it there. I just had to hurry up and get this out. Boy, it's been a lot going on, so thank you for watching. If you like what I do, hit me with a like, a sub, and a comment. I welcome it all. Until next time.